Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concordia University's Concordia Compass Student Life. We're going to just give everyone maybe a few more seconds to get situated and join us for any latecomers. We'll get started in about 30 seconds. So sit tight and we will start our presentation shortly. All right, everyone. Welcome again. This is Concordia University Irvine's Concordia Compass, navigating your college journey to Concordia University Irvine. This is a brand new webinar series that we are doing this year. And we have different episodes, much like a podcast, where we're highlighting different features of our university. Today's feature is student life. So far, we've done FAFSA, athletics, honors, and so now this is going to be probably one of the most exciting webinars yet, because you guys get to see kind of firsthand what it's like to be a student at Concordia University Irvine. My name is Evan Jones. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at Concordia. And with me tonight, we have our Dean of Students and Vice President of Student Affairs, Megan Boslow. We have our Associate Dean for Student Engagement, Miss Monique Nunez. And we also have our Director of Career Development and Vocation, Mariah Lucas. So tonight you will be hearing from them. I'm going to pass it over them to shortly so that they can do introductions and get started. We are going to spend the majority of the evening doing a Q&A. So as you guys listen tonight and you hear something that you want more information on, or you want something, information on something we didn't touch on, there will be an opportunity for you guys to put your question in the chat, and then we're going to open it up to you guys. So without further ado, I will pass it over to our presenters this evening.
Hello and welcome. It is a delight to be on this webinar this evening. And we're going to take you through student life and the career path. So that is my handy dandy picture on the screen to your left. And there's a short bio about myself. I go by Miss Mo on campus. I don't think anyone knows my last name is Nunes, but I serve as Associate Dean for Student Engagement. I oversee residential life, housing, conduct, and also manage the Unity Center that is located on the top floor of the library. So I'll get into a little bit more about what we do, or what I do here at Concordia, and the love I have for this place, and hopefully you too will develop a love for it. Mariah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mariah Lucas, Director of Career Development and Vocation, and I am a Concordia Irvine alum. I graduated in 2015 and absolutely loved my time here as a student, and came back in August of 2018 as an academic advisor in our graduate programs, and then moved over into the Career Center in 2020. I've had the opportunity to do life design certification, Enneagram certification, and online profile expert certification. And I absolutely love that I get to give back to our undergraduate students.
Okay, so we're going to go into residential life. I'm gonna try to move my screen down. The pictures are in the way, but I am up. Okay, got it. So let's go into the goals for student life. And I think that because I can't see everyone on this webinar, if you have a question or you would like for me to stop, please indicate that at the bottom of the screen by raising your hand or just chiming in, and then I will stop. So the goals for student life is to give students the resources, experiences, and relationships that help them persist to graduation and to be transformed at the Concordia experience. So matriculation to graduation is our goal here. So reasons to live on campus. I too live on campus, and I think that it is a great community to live in, to develop, to nurture, and to foster healthy relationships with faculty, staff, and students. Number one, to create community. I love creating community with students. We have 24/7 lounges on campus. So that would be the larger lounges that we have in Sigma and in Rho, and then we have 8 lounges in upper and lower quads, and I'll get into that on our next screen. Residential assistants and directors live here on campus as well to assist you to help build that community. Faith development and support. Wow, is that an outstanding reason to live on campus? For your faith development with Bible studies or small groups or one-on-one prayer time. And we are here to support you. We have nighttime worship services that goes on that is student-led. You could hear students having Bible study or just gathering if it's a hymn song, some hymns that they are singing, or you may have someone on the banjo, guitar, the piano, just to enhance that faith development. Nighttime programming. Yes, this campus comes alive at night, and I am so excited to share with you. The nighttime programming can stem from Waffle Wednesdays to Wings Wednesday to French Toast Fridays, and just an array of things that we do on campus. The RAs also do their programming, and you are also invited to come to our Live and Learning community, which is the upper quads. And that's when we have talks that are academic in nature, but it is definitely a collaborative talking back and forth as we learn together. We do have CU Active on campus here, a gym that is located in Sigma, and outdoor rec information or equipment that you can rent out. If you want more information on that, our director, Mike, will be able to help answer any questions. Sports equipment checkout that goes right in line with the outdoor rec things that you can rent out from our CU Active and or the Sigma box. Dining options. What a great way to build community. You can have and eat with your fellow peers, with faculty and staff, especially at lunchtime. I love to see faculty and staff and students just breaking bread with one another and just talking about community. It could be about your class. It could be about a social event, or anything that pops up at the table. Intramurals. Tonight, we have our Intramurals championship game. So intramurals is a outlet as well. If your child does not play a sport, intramurals will be some type of way for them to get connected and build that community. Easy access to classes, professors, academic support. So those are some of the reasons, just a few reasons, why you too will want to live on campus. Next slide, please. So extra dorm life features. So this year we had brand new furniture in Rho and in Sigma, and quads is being installed this summer. I am so excited to see the furniture go into our quads. We have ice machines. I know people say, what is the big deal about ice machines? That is a big plus. We have one in Sigma and Rho, and yes, we will have one in quads in the fall of 2024. Pay range app, we use that for our laundry, also for our vending machines. And if your student does not want to do the pay range app, we do have some washing machines and dryers that is quarter operated, but the pay range is a great way to just swipe. The information will come up on their phone. The washer and dryer that's available will pop up. You just slide and there you have it. So we do have our Amazon locker that is located in the front of Sigma. During orientation, we will show you how to pick that locker so that you can get your packages 24/7. Keep in mind that the larger packages will have to go to the mailroom. As I stated, RA programs to create hall community. And next year we will have on the MyCU app, mobile orders to go in Eagles Landing. That is very exciting. We heard the students, we listened, and we are implementing this. Next slide, please. This slide here shows you Rho and Sigma. So Rho is designated for freshmen, and they will have a roommate. They also have different sides. So it's an independent space that they have. It's a large 24-hour lounge, pool table, ping pong table, basketball, and they can rent out Nintendo Switch when the box is open. The box is located in Sigma and Enroll, and we call it the box because the RA is stationed there to help build community and also to sell snacks, information, rental equipment, as I stated in the previous slide, things of that nature. Moving on to Sigma. Sigma is where our sophomores, juniors, and seniors live. And some of the pull or the reasons why they would want to stay in Sigma is they love being closely connected to the CU Active that's right in the hub of Sigma. So just like Row has Row Commons, we have Sigma General. That is the 24-hour lounge and it's shuffleboard, pool table. And in that box, that's where you can rent some outdoor rec. And sometimes we do have you go to CU Active to rent those things out. As I previously stated, CU Active is there. Our student gym that opens at 6 a.m. that has a Peloton, 2 Peloton bikes, free weights, and workout equipment. So yes, students do get up early to work out before class. Next slide. And I don't know, I haven't been watching it. I don't know if anyone raised their hand, but I will keep going. So this is our staff. We have a dynamic group here. That's me I'm looking at it from the left side of the screen. So I serve as Associate Dean for Student Engagement. We have Alexis Borland, that's Associate Director of Residential Life and School Spirit. If you think I have energy, you should meet Alexis. Not to be slighted by Tori Clemens. She's our Row Residential Director. So this is a team of 3. We are small but mighty. We work together to make sure that we are building a community so that we are able to develop wise, honorable, and cultivated citizens. Any questions, or do you want to go on, Mariah, and we can wait for questions at the end?
Sounds good. All right, we're going to jump in and meet our Center for Career and Vocation staff. I oversee this department and I have an assistant director of career development. Her name is Erin Coman. She's been at Concordia for 6 years as well as myself. And then Jenny Sheik is our College Corps Fellowship Coordinator, and she oversees our College Corps Fellowship where students get to go out into the community and serve in exchange for scholarship and living allowances. So what does our Center for Career and Vocation do? We help with career readiness. We have students who have no idea what they're doing, haven't declared a major, and come into our office and say, I don't even know where to begin. We also have students who have a very clear, direct path of what they are hoping to achieve. They know that grad school is the next step, and then they know what job they want to go into. And we are here to help all of those students feel more confident as they get ready to graduate from Concordia and go out into their next adventure. We do everything from one-on-one coaching to resume reviews and mock interviews. We bring employers onto campus to hire students for internships or even full-time jobs after graduation. We also bring graduate schools on campus for students to explore as well. We do career preparation workshops, and we relaunched our employer and alumni panels that haven't happened since before COVID. They came back this year, and we're really excited for that. And we are launching employer information sessions this semester as well, where employers get to talk a little bit about what it's like to work in their company, how they got involved. We try to highlight when they're Concordia alum, and they talk about their journey as well. On-campus employment is a big topic of conversation. We have 406 students working on campus right now. And a lot of those students find their job through Handshake. So in about June, July, you'll get access to Handshake. You'll log in using your Concordia credentials and you'll look for on-campus jobs. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is upload your resume so that when you see an on-campus job that you're interested in, all you have to do is click apply. You can filter jobs for on-campus. You also can look for off-campus jobs and look at a radius around Concordia to see what's close. A lot of our students are employed at the Starbucks that is close to campus. Our Chick-fil-A that's down the street also is a hub for Concordia employees, and so is In-N-Out. But we have a lot of opportunities for off-campus part-time employment while you're a student, and many of those employers are willing to work with your school schedule. A benefit to on-campus employment, though, is you get to be a student first, and we recognize that, and our supervisors across campus are committed to helping you be successful as a student, and that your job is second. So you can look for those on-campus jobs by applying the on-campus filter and handshake and clicking apply. Another thing that may be requested as you apply for on-campus jobs is your class schedule, and that's so that supervisors can be mindful of when you're in class. Here are a few events to look forward to in our Career Center. Closets and Close-Ups is our big event on campus. We set up a professional wardrobe pop-up closet, and you can come pick out a free wardrobe. Different pieces. We have faculty, staff, and local people who donate wardrobes for us so that we can offer this for free. And then you get a professional headshot as well. Our employer panel was a very big hit this year, and so we're excited to partner with different clubs on campuses and majors to offer employer panels based on career outcome opportunities. And then our hiring expos. We offer them between 2 and 4 times a year, where we get to bring employers on campus who are excited to hire Concordia Eagles, Golden Eagles. I want to talk to you about the College Corps Fellowship. A lot of times when people hear that you get $10,000 in exchange for service, that perks your ears up. So this is an opportunity for our students to get real world job experience while also earning money to help pay for school. The $10,000 is split up into $7,000 as a living stipend that you receive over the academic year. And then if you complete the 450 hours of service, you then get $3,000 in the form of an educational award that can either be used for your next year at Concordia, it can be saved for grad school, or it can be used for federal loan repayment. You are working in the community locally here in Orange County, serving either in climate action, food insecurity, or K-12 tutoring and mentorship. If you are interested in applying, you need to meet the following requirements, either that you need to work part-time or take out student loans to pay for Concordia, or if you qualify for federal Pell or state Cal grants, you automatically are eligible to apply if you are a U.S. citizen or U.S. national, legal, permanent resident, or an 8B 540 eligible dreamer, you can apply. You need to have a 2.5 GPA either from your high school, or if you went to a community college, that GPA will count as well. And then you have to be willing to complete a criminal history check. That's just a piece of the application process. I'm going to put the QR code back up here because if you're interested, the first step is to fill out that interest form. I'll put that up there for just a second. Okay. And lastly, Ms. Mo and I wanted to highlight just a few of the Instagram accounts that we feel it's important to follow to know what is happening on campus and to stay up on all the latest events. The first one is CUI_Success Center. This is where the Center for Career and Vocation highlights their events. We have transfer student support in this one. Our academic advising and disability access services will also post on this Instagram, letting you know when it's time to make an appointment with your academic advisor or time to register for classes. If you're interested in College Corps and you want to see what our College Corps fellows are doing right now, you can follow CUI_College Corps. We just hit the 2,000 hour mark as a fellowship, and so we're super excited for that. We highlight some of our fellows and also our host sites where students are serving. Ms. Mo, do you want to go over res?
Yes. So if you're looking to live on campus or you want to see what we are doing on campus, please follow us at CUI_Res Life. We try to upload or very active on this page daily. So if you like to just follow us closely, we invite you to come along CUI_Res Life. I'm going to jump over right across at CUI The Hunt. I did mention that Alexis Borland, she heads up the hunt. So you can go on CUI_The Hunt. It would be great if you would like to go there tomorrow because we have the Hunter Games. And it is something that you can follow on the hunt. We are pleased to announce that one of our very own Mason is Mr. CUI, and he is heavily participating in the hunt. CU Active, that's what I talked about, that's located in Sigma. It's the outdoor recreation, free rentals, intramural sports, and fitness. So please follow us at CUI_Success CU Active to get more information about that. And Mariah, I'll let you talk about the last one at the top.
Yes. So our first year experience office likes to highlight what you can do on campus and how to get involved. And so if you're interested in that sneak peek of what fall is going to look like for you, you can head to @Concordia Irvine, FYE, to find out what we did last year for our incoming class and get some tips on what to look forward to this coming fall. And Evan, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. Monique, Mariah, Megan, thank you guys so much for that presentation. At this time, we are going to turn it over to you guys. So you guys have an opportunity to ask questions on anything you guys heard tonight or anything that you want more information on that we might have not mentioned. We have until 6 p.m. this evening. Again, this is your guys' time. You have our undivided attention. You will be able to contact us after the fact. We will share our personal contact information if you guys have questions. But we want to use this time wisely. So if any of you have questions, please go ahead and go ahead and include them in the Q&A box. I just want to do a quick announcement while we are kind of waiting for some questions. If you guys have not visited our campus already, please go ahead and do that. You guys will get the opportunity to experience firsthand a lot of the things that Miss Mo and Mariah have talked about. You'll get to tour our dorms, meet some of our current students, and potentially even meet with one of us in person or a faculty and staff member to get a better idea of what Concordia looks like as in the context of student life. To get some of our questions going tonight, I will go ahead and ask a question on some of our students' behalf. So Mariah and Miss Mo, maybe you'll be able to answer it. It's regarding College Core, and any student who is interested in doing College Core, but also interested in the future in studying abroad. Are those two possible to do simultaneously?
Yeah, so as a College Core Fellow, you're committing to serve 450 hours over the course of 2 semesters. We've explored the possibility of trying to make it 1 semester, and it's just not wise for the student to try to shove all of that into 1 semester. So unfortunately, if a student is planning to study abroad, we aren't able to allow them to do the College Core Fellowship. But we do work with students on that. So we've had some students who studied abroad this year, but participated last year in College Core and are applying for year 3 next year for next year's cohort. So we do understand that that is an important part of the student opportunities here at Concordia, and we celebrate when they're able to go to abroad and hope to welcome them back when they return.
Excellent. Thanks so much. I want to ask another question on a student's behalf while we wait for some questions to pour in. Can you guys comment and speak a little to what it's like living in the dorms and students who perhaps are incoming freshmen who have never lived with anyone before or shared a room? Can you just speak to that student experience and also how you guys pair up students based on their likes, their dislikes, etc.?
Yes, so short answer is wonderful to live on campus. The more in-depth answer is that to build community, I think that it is very, you're at an advantage to meet someone and to live with someone. And I always say that it's the Imago Dei. We're all made in the image of God. And how do we build community together? How do we live with one another? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when conflict arises, how do you navigate that? This is why we have professional staff on that's living on campus, and also our RAs are trained to do some room mediations. So I think that it is awesome. I am a product of a Concordia, and building and living on campus was probably one of the best things that that I experienced. I know Mariah can speak to living on campus, on this campus. So Mariah.
I think, gosh, I have such great experiences with both. I lived in Row freshman year, I lived in Sigma sophomore year, and then I lived in the lower quads junior and senior year. And it was really fun to be able to be right next to your friends and even still to this day, now being almost 10 years post undergrad, the group of friends I still have from Concordia, we talk about how easy it was to connect with our friends. And there's the awkward moments of like trying to figure out how to live with someone, especially if it's someone you don't know well. And so I would say just go in with it with an open mind and know that it it might be a little clunky, but honestly, when you look back on it, you're going to be so glad that you invested in the opportunity to build community, because it is something so rare to be able to live right next door to your friends or even to share a living room with your friends.
Can I add in one thing too? I'm Megan Boslow, Dean of Students, and Evan, you had asked, how do they get matched up? We do have students who initially start out filling out the housing application. They fill out their information in our eRes system, and we try to match according to lifestyle and some things that look like they'll match these students together. We do have students who come in requesting a roommate, and that's fine. We've had teammates who think it's really best to all live together, and we don't necessarily subscribe to that. We think that it's good to make friends in your team and outside your team. So sometimes we'll put a teammate on one side of a suite or on the other, or just somehow we mix it up so that the teams who get a little too much of each other can sometimes get a little too much of each other. So we like to spread that out a little bit, but we prayerfully consider how to place students according to the information we receive in eRes, and then students have the ability to connect with each other too. Is that right, Ms. Mo?
Yes, they do. And we do look at that questionnaire, like, do you go to sleep late? Are you an early riser? Do you use headphones? You'd be amazed of how many headphones you see on campus, but they don't use them in the room. So to answer, to get those questions out too. And it's unique that once we pair students up, they're like, how did you pair us up? Based on, we really get along, or we really go to bed like water polo. They get up super early. So in some cases it works out that they're together. But even with teammates, as VP Megan alluded to, sometimes it's just not a good mix. So we carefully look at that. And it's a process for us to go through, although it's a software we can use to match them up. We carefully look at what the likes, dislikes, and light on. I have to sleep with a light on. I sleep with a night light. Some I have to have it totally pitch dark. So we try to match that up and do the very best that we can.
Wonderful. And I will say, from an admission standpoint, just working the students out there that we've worked with so far, believe it or not, it is cost effective to live on campus. Some students are wanting to live, with their parents. If you guys live local and you commute, that is totally fine. But we really, really do encourage you guys to live here on campus. We are a residential campus, and we have such a small community, intentionally small, and you really glean a lot of wisdom from that. You grow as a person, and you learn a lot about yourself living with somebody else. And our motto is freedom to explore your future and your faith. And part of the college journey is self-discovery, so that when you graduate and you get into the real world, I always say, you are able to carry yourself with a lot of self-knowledge, which is extremely crucial to any aspect of life. All right. Well, I'm going to keep the conversation going because I like the flow that we're in right now. Can any of you guys speak to students who are wanting to come on campus, again, away from home, and all of the amenities and the services we offer, such as medical or mental health? That is an important topic in the college journey these days. So what's the student experience like there?
You want me to speak into that?
Yes, please.
All right. We have a fantastic wellness center. It's really well developed. We've invested more, not less, in that center. And that's a difference from a lot of other universities that have stepped away from investing in on-campus wellness centers and instead send students out. We have certainly will help students connect with local providers for their insurance. But we do have 3 nurse practitioners on campus that are at the ready for all health needs that come up. I mean, in general, outside of emergencies. And they do also help make referrals to when we need more specialized care. The nurse practitioners are able to prescribe certain levels of medication. And so that's so helpful instead of students trying to figure this all out. It's a lot to navigate when a student comes to campus. So that's available to all of our students. And then we have a quite well-developed counseling center in our wellness center with both professional counselors, but also a significant group of graduate students who are counselors and receiving internship hours. So we have gone from a program that used to have a long waiting list to we are just about able to get any student in right away. We're able to get students in, and then somewhere probably around midterms, maybe there's a 2-week wait, just when we get flooded at a certain level of stress. Our wellness center is thought very positively of on our campus. Students speak really highly of it. It is the most cost-effective counseling they'll ever get in their lives. They pay $5 a session. And if they can't afford that, then we work with them on that. So it's a fantastic service. They can go to counseling all 4 years if they'd like, or if they just want to go in a couple of sessions, they can do that too, and receive all kinds of extra resources on just increasing wellness and strategies to kind of manage the emotional, psychological, stress and weariness of getting through a big goal like college. So that's, anyway, so Evan, you asked about wellness services and then other resources that are on campus. I'm going to highlight something else that's been really important to me in my 4 years at Concordia, which we developed this outdoor rec program. So we're big believers in loving your campus and then considering this a hub to go out. So California has more national parks than any other state in the United States, and we want students to see them, get to them, and experience the fantastic outdoors of Southern California. So even if students have lived here all their lives, we see that they haven't always explored that far. It depends on how their family system worked. So we want to get students experiencing tight community by taking about 30 at a time during each of the breaks. So we take them out at the mid-semester breaks for fall and spring, and also right in May, and there's one other, but anyway, about 4 times so a year that we take students. They've gone to Sedona, to Yosemite, to Redwoods, all kinds of places, and it's just been amazing. So students come back having met people they've never otherwise met. They seem like best friends by the end of that week. So that's exciting. With that, we've also developed, if students want to go out independently of the school, they go through what we have is called the rental program. It's funny that we call it rental because they get to check out everything for free. But we have an entire area where we rent out sleeping bags and camping equipment and we have bikes and all kinds of things, anything we could do to make sure students get out there with the equipment they need to be safe. And so that's available through Sigma, through our CU Active program. And then, as Mrs. Mo mentioned, we have a significant amount of intramural teams that have been developed, and that is so much fun. Students love it. It is all skill levels. It's really encouraging, and students talk about that team for the rest of their days. So that's obviously available to on-campus, off-campus student commuters or live on campus students. And so we're excited to have that piece too.
Great. Thanks so much, Megan. Another question I have for you guys is, can you speak to the chapel experience here at Concordia? It's very unique in that we are a Christian university, but you're not required to go to chapel, which I believe has a lot of benefits, speaking as a former student myself. So can you guys talk a little bit about the current students' experience of that?
Yeah, I absolutely love chapel, and I love worshiping with students. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10:30 to roughly around 11 o'clock, we do have worship or chapel service. And each day is a little different. You have the teaching that will be more on Mondays. I would say if you know the term matins, that's more of your Tuesday. Then Thursday is more teaching, where we're going right now through the book of Revelation. And then Friday is where the sports teams, that's when they designate their teams to come together and to worship together. And I find all chapels to be upbeat, whether it's introspective or outward. And I really like to get my out on Friday. So also on Thursday nights, we have a student-led service that's called Shout. And then Sundays at 6:30 in the small chapel, we have Source. And that is a small service that's also have communion. So that's very, very experience to have with faculty, staff, and students. So I love that the campus, we pause at that time. And again, it's not mandatory that you come to chapel. I know that on our team and a lot of teams on campus, well, I think all the majority, we don't do anything in that time frame because that's a time that the campus shuts down and we give reverence to God, meditating, worshiping together, and just taking a pause to give thanks to God for this day. I don't know if anyone else wants to
Yeah,
add.
I mean, that's wonderful. Great description. It's very invitational. So we have students who come who have honestly never walked into a church before, and we have students who come from pastors' families and have been incredibly involved in church all their lives. So and I love that mixture. I absolutely love it. So we see students that come in. Our Friday chapel is definitely the highest attendance, and because almost every one of our athletics teams is there if they're not out of town. And so we know that we have students coming to chapel who really haven't experienced chapel, and they come on their own free will, and great, that's wonderful. And they have opportunity for spiritual care through our campus ministry center. If they want to get involved in small groups, they can. So it's all, again, I can't say enough, it's invitational. So students will choose, and according to that choice, we just pray God will bless them in that experience.
Yeah, I will speak to, just from my own experience as a student, now as a staff member, and having worked at two other Christian universities where chapel was mandatory. Ironically, at Concordia, the spiritual and worship experience seems the most organic and authentic I've ever known. And I think it is because it's an invitation rather than a requirement. I see the staff very involved, students very, very involved. So that's just an observation that I've noticed, comparing and contrasting different universities. It's a very authentic experience here at Concordia.
And I will say, as a former student, my favorite was Shout because it was student-led, and it's in the chapel, the lights are off, there's candles everywhere, and so it feels like this more intimate opportunity to worship without feeling like, oh, my professor, is sitting close by. But also now being staff, getting to see our students during chapel is really exciting. But I will say, as a student, my favorite was Shout.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask just a few more questions to kind of stay in the groove of this conversation. And if we don't get any from our attendees, then we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. But I was wondering if, you ladies, having your ear to the ground, so to speak, with our current students, can you comment on the relationship that our current students have and then go on to develop with their professors, both as teachers and mentors, both in Concordia and even after Concordia? And the reason I say after Concordia is because the relationship I had with my professors actually became more intimate and more developed after Concordia, because I went back to them and talked to them about job opportunities, interview tips. They remembered me, they knew me. So what are you guys hearing from current students in that regard?
I know that students here's what I've noticed. I think students develop really close relationships with their professors because it's a small classroom environment. We challenge freshmen to go meet their professors and to go to office hours. So even though it's open, it's available for students to make those relationships. We can see that there's freshmen that come in or transfer students that come in on the shy side and they're not sure that they're really supposed to have that relationship with professors, which is unfortunate because by the time they discover that that's authentic to the experience, that the professors actually do want to know them, and boy, do they root for them. And we know that in various ways, even when it comes to professors letting us know they're concerned about a student, it's all really out of care and concern, but the relationships they develop are true and authentic. And then the opportunities to keep being mentored, to be brought back onto campus as alumni speakers. I'm gonna, Mariah can speak to that, but yeah, we sometimes see students develop more once they're in their major, but they really should be working on it from the moment they get in the door, because all of the professors in those general education requirements care just as much, and the classroom sizes are just as small, which is unusual because some schools have these giant gen ed classes, and we actually are just as small in our gen eds as we are in our major. So we want the relationship.
One of my favorite faculty members was a gen ed faculty member. Dr. Plater was my public speaking professor, and I had her at 7:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my freshman year, and she really took the time to get to know me as a student and encouraged me when I said I wanted to come back to Concordia as a staff member. And so I see it often when I'm working with faculty getting ready to do classroom presentations. When I ask them, what is the pulse of your students? What do they want to know? It's really cool to see a faculty member be like, I have these 4 students looking at grad school. These 6 students are looking to go into the workforce. And so when I get to the classroom, I'm able to talk to them about what they've already shared with their faculty member. And then one of the biggest compliments when students come to my office is, oh, so-and-so, Professor so-and-so said to come to your office. And so to see that they care about more than just the student succeeding in the classroom, they care about life after graduation is really important. For the students, you see them just beam when they talk about faculty investing in them and having those conversations. And I have not met a single faculty member who has said in their top reasons of choosing Concordia, relationship has always been one of those top ones.
Wonderful. All right, guys. One last question for the night. I'm going to turn it over to you guys to answer this question, actually. Knowing Concordia, having worked at Concordia, and a lot of you having worked in just education for a while, what is the one thing for anyone out there listening and considering Concordia, what's the one thing that you would, your favorite thing about this institution, and the one thing you would tell students to come to Concordia to experience that we just don't, that you've never seen anything like it at another institution?
I know for me, I am currently at the stage of my life where I am about ready to launch my first. And I will tell you that heading up this team in student affairs, I would love for my kid to be developed by these staff. And that's, I wouldn't even, I'd just keep my lips zipped if I didn't feel that way, but I do feel so strongly that our students couldn't possibly get a better experience of being developed by a set of caring staff members. And I'm not taking that away from the faculty piece, because that's fantastic. But my area is student affairs and student life, and our students grow, they grow up, they are ready, they develop into real leaders. We have a pretty intense student leadership program. We want students to get involved in that. And that's what I visualize for my own kid is I want you to go into student leadership. You need the development that this program is going to offer you. So that's something that I would consider. We often think of major and classroom size and whether or not the dorms are cool. And I love all that. But what I really think is what are they doing to develop student leaders? And I love what Concordia is doing.
Yeah, I was piggyback off of that. Walking with and not for students. It's something that I will like to home in on and highlight that Concordia is doing. You know, it sounds like, well, okay, when I say faculty and staff, they will sit with you and have coffee and sit with you and have lunch to talk about problems in the classroom, outside the classroom, and you give that one-on-one, two-on-one attention that you need to just make it over the hump, or just talk through situations, whether it's a great aha moment, a joyous moment, or not so much. And I think that I know that this is a community that we care about one another, and when one falls by the wayside, we really try to be that mother hen and bring them back into the fold.
As someone who's invested in by Concordia staff and faculty, it is an honor to be able to be a part of that piece of it. Just seeing the care that goes into everything and the intentionality of wanting to be present with students and connect with them. And then also breakfast burritos. Go to the CAF, get a breakfast burrito.
All right. Thank you guys so much, Mariah, Miss Mo, Megan. Thank you guys for all of the information and wisdom that you've shared with us and our prospective students here tonight. Before we get ready to wrap up and end for the evening, I just want to give a few reminders. I'm on mute. All right. You would think after so many years of virtual meetings that we would get this figured out by now, but clearly we've still got a learning curve. I just wanted to thank you, Mariah, Megan, Miss Mo, everyone for sharing all of your wisdom and your information to all of our prospective students tonight. You guys, these are some of the key people that you will be seeing and working with on a day-to-day basis here at Concordia. They're wonderful women, and there are more wonderful staff that you will get to meet here as a student. So I want to just throw out some reminders before we do finally end. If you have not deposited yet, and you are confident that Concordia is the place for you this August, this fall 2024, please submit your deposit. I've included the link in our chat. Here it is. I think everyone can see that. That is the link to submit your $300 enrollment deposit. The FAFSA is a huge hot topic in this admission cycle. There's been a ton of delays, thanks to the Department of Education, not thanks to us. And we're kind of rolling with the punches, going with the flow. We are just starting to get information from the Department of Education this week and send out packages. So if you're waiting to commit to Concordia and you've been waiting to deposit because you want to see your award, rest assured that is coming. It's going to come this week, next week, and we're hoping to get everyone packaged by April. So if you have any questions about that, please go ahead and email me directly. I will answer your questions, or I will connect you with an admissions counselor. There is my email address also in the chat. If you want to visit Concordia, if you haven't visited yet and you want to experience firsthand all of the things that we've discussed tonight, please go ahead and visit. I really encourage you guys. I will be the first to say that just after researching so many different colleges, the college journey can kind of start to blend together and bleed together. I will say that if you're looking to make a decision, go to the campus. That is really what is going to seal the deal and help you decide. Our campus especially is stunning. It's beautiful. It's safe. And it's really something that words can't do it justice. So please come visit us in person. This is the website if you want to go. Oops. I did a typo. It's just cui.edu/visit. You will get a $500 scholarship just for touring the campus and meeting with admissions. And that scholarship is eligible until April 30th. You can come visit the campus well after April 30th, but in order to receive that $500, your visit has to be in, or at least scheduled before April 30th. That's pretty much it on our end, guys. For everyone who is viewing tonight, you have my information. You probably also have your admissions counselor's information, phone and email, because you guys have been working with them extensively. So please feel free to reach out. If you would like to connect further with anyone on this call tonight, I can go ahead and connect you guys if you reach out to me. Before we end, I would just like to wrap us up in prayer. So if you do pray, please join with me. Lord Jesus, I thank you for everyone on this call tonight, for our staff here, and for all the prospective students and their parents. I know that anyone watching this, whether it's in this moment or if they're going to watch the recorded version, Lord, you have them watching for a reason. And even more so, you've drawn them to Concordia for a reason. And Lord Jesus, in all of your foreknowledge, you know the future. You know where everyone looking at college is going to end up in the fall and 20 years from now. So would you be so kind and gracious to us, Jesus, to give us a glimpse into what you have planned for us. It's good and it's prosperous, and we just want to be in accordance with whatever you have for us. We do pray, Lord, I pray that you bring as many students to Concordia as possible so that they can enjoy all that we've discussed tonight. They can grow in you, grow in their self-knowledge, and grow in academia. Would you please just bless all of our students and their families, Jesus? Keep them safe and be ever present in their college decision-making process. In your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining us tonight, for taking time out of your day. We hope to see you soon. Bye.